everybody, it's Miss Higby here, and I'm here today to read you the next chapter of The Royal Rabbits of London, The Hunt for the Golden Carrot. We are nearly at the end, so if you're still watching these videos and listening along, well done, you've made it this far. I really hope you're enjoying the story just as much as I am, and today we are going to read chapter 17. I hope you enjoy. The following morning, Shiloh left the warren early and headed to the gamekeeper's shed to meet the hopsters. It was an overcast day. Heavy grey-bellied clouds hung low in the sky, and it looked like it would rain. Shiloh was nervous. His stomach rumbled, not with hunger. He'd been careful to have a large breakfast in anticipation of the big day ahead, but with anxiety. Today was the day. Everything was in place. Now, all he needed was the golden carrot. He pushed open the door to the shed and saw at once that something was wrong. The 5 other royal rabbits were standing in front of the line of hanging carrots, looking puzzled. Shiloh's heart plummeted to his feet and his mouth went dry. The hopster rabbits stood aside as Shiloh hopped forward, but then he saw what had happened. Bugs had crawled along the baler twine in the night and had climbed all over the carrots, getting stuck in the paint as it dried. They looked like ancient amber fossils of prehistoric insects. Shiloh felt sick. "What are we gonna do?" Laser demanded. "Without our golden carrot, the plan won't work." "We have more paint, we just need more carrots," suggested Clooney. "Seeing as you were so good at getting them last time, Shiloh, perhaps you'd like to dig up a few more." Horatio scratched his chin. "There's no time for that. Everything is set for this afternoon. We have to return to the Grand Barrow tonight and prepare for the Dutch state visit. There must be something we can do to salvage the plan." He turned. "Is there something you'd like to share with us?" All eyes shifted to Belle de Pau. She sighed and clicked her tongue. A shadow of irritation swept across her face. Then she looked down at Shiloh, and the irritation passed, and in its place came compassion. "How did you know?" she asked Horatio. "I'm an old and wise royal rabbit. I make it my business to know." "All right," she said, folding her arms. "I have another golden carrot." They all looked at her in astonishment. "I just want to keep the house so pretty, so I snuck back into the vegetable garden last night, dug up a carrot and painted it for myself." She sighed again and turned to Horatio. "I'll just hop back to your burrow and get it. I tried it in Horatio's airing cupboard. Needless to say, it is perfect." She disappeared, only to return a few minutes later with the carrot. It was, indeed, perfect and very golden. Maximilian had told Shiloh that at 9 o'clock every morning, Harlequin sent his magic rabbits off to dig for the golden carrot so that he could have some alone time to work. What work he did exactly no one knew, but they assumed he was doing something very magical and did not want to be disturbed. So, at 9:10, Shiloh and the hopster rabbits made their way to Harlequin's camp, careful not to be seen. Horatio, who was too old and lame for this kind of action, stayed behind in his burrow, waiting for news. As the rabbits neared the camp, they took cover beneath a laurel bush to finalise the last details of the plan. As he was used to doing before any battle, Zeno took charge, instructing the others where to position themselves. Then Shiloh slipped off his jacket and wrapped it around Belle de Pau's beautifully painted golden carrot. He stood up straight and made sure his ears stood up too, because he didn't want the others to see how nervous he was. But Belle de Pau touched his cheek, and he knew from the tender look on her face that she sensed how very scared he was. "With a wet nose," murmured Clooney. "A moist carrot," Laser added. "Actually, it's gold," Clooney whispered with a grin. "Shh," Laser snapped. "You're ruining the moment." "And a slice of mad courage," Zeno exclaimed, trying unsuccessfully to lower his voice. Then the 4 big Hopster rabbits put their red paws on top of each other to make a tower, to which Shiloh added his own. "Be brave, little Shiloh," Belderpaw said. "We have your back." And Shiloh set off, a little hesitantly, into the empty camp. For a bumpkin with a very sensitive nose like Shiloh's, Harlequin's camp was almost unbearable. It looked as if a terrible storm had passed through, but the storm was the magic rabbits themselves, who seemed to have lost all sense of who they really were, and had clearly forgotten how to look after themselves. Shiloh picked his way past the rubbish until he got to the only tent that wasn't made of rags. This one was made of a patchwork quilt and covered a large area of ground. "It must be big enough for the golden rabbits to all fit in together," Shiloh mused. Thinking of Maximilian and how he'd longed to be chosen, he wondered what the golden rabbits did in there. Shiloh pulled back the quilt and peered inside. He expected to find Harlequin busy at work, but instead he was sleeping. The ginger buck was lying in a hammock snoring loudly. Asleep, he looked fat and bloated, as if someone had filled him with water. Shiloh looked around. His eyes settled on piles of what were clearly stolen goods. Small items from the farm, silver and brass household things, purses and wallets and handbags, even clothes. Shiloh felt a little dizzy at the sight of such obvious evidence of thievery. Was it possible that Harlequin was using the golden rabbits to steal for him? Shiloh coughed. Harlequin didn't stir, so Shiloh coughed again. Harlequin opened his eyes and blinked for a moment, as if slowly remembering where he was. Then he focused and saw Shiloh standing nervously in the entrance of the tent, clutching something to his chest. There's a picture there. Harlequin sleeping. And you can see Shiloh here, and Harlequin in the hammock. The ginger rabbit sat up with a start, furious to have been discovered sleeping, and worried that Shiloh might have spotted all the valuable things he had made his golden rabbit steal for him. "Shiloh, what are you doing back here, little bro? You've interrupted my magic sleep, recharging my magic powers." Harlequin grumbled, and suddenly Shiloh saw the real Harlequin behind the mask. He was bad-tempered and impatient, and without his smile, he lost all of his charm. "Forgive me for disturbing you," Shiloh murmured. He walked towards the hammock and kneeled, pretending to worship Harlequin as the magic rabbits did. "I believe in the magic. I believe in you." Harlequin smiled and put out his paw. Shiloh supposed he was meant to kiss it. He hesitated. The paw remained. Shiloh realised he had no choice and hopped gingerly over to give it a nudge with his muzzle. It was enough. "So, you want to be a magic rabbit?" said Harlequin with a grin. "I want to be a golden rabbit," murmured Shiloh. "I found the golden carrot." At that, Harlequin leaped out of the hammock. Where is it? Give it to me." His amber eyes blazed with greed. Shiloh began to unfold the jacket with great care. He moved so slowly that Harlequin grabbed it impatiently and hastily unfolded it himself. When he saw the gold, his jaw opened and he gasped, a deep, low gasp that came right from the bottom of his chest. He put his paws round the carrot and lifted it up. "The golden carrot," he gushed. Then he hopped outside to see it in the light. Shiloh followed after him, hoping that he wouldn't notice any flaws. Harlequin, so greedy for power, was easily taken in, turning the carrot over and over, sighing and groaning with joy and triumph. Then Shiloh smelled fox. It came in an unmistakable whiff, thick and sharp and overpowering. Harlequin was too absorbed in the golden carrot to notice, and when Riot stepped into the clearing, he was so taken by surprise that he almost dropped his prize. Riot prowled over to Harlequin and put her nose right up to his. Harlequin froze in terror, eyes bulging. "Show her the carrot!" Shiloh cried, pretending to be afraid of the fox. Harlequin pushed the carrot out in front of him and took a deep breath. Riot looked at it and frowned. Then she narrowed her eyes and all of a sudden rolled onto her back with her legs in the air and began to meow like a kitten. "Okay, don't overdo it," Shiloh thought, as Riot waved her paws, wagging her bushy tail, and made strange noises, clearly enjoying the game. "It works!" Harlequin cried. Riot rolled onto her paws and pretended to bow down in front of the ginger rabbit. Shiloh pulled a face, silently trying to tell her to back off. She could blow the whole plan. But he needn't have worried. Harlequin was triumphant. He had subdued a fox. "I am the most powerful creature in the world," he yelled in triumph. The ginger rabbit pointed to the trees. "Go, fox, and tell all your friends who's the king of the forest now." And he smiled at Shiloh, a sly, evil smile. "I know who you are, little rabbit. I know what that red paw of yours means. Now we've taken over the farm, we'll take over Buckingham Palace. I'm the king now. Get peasy. Call a meeting of all the magic rabbits. I will rule the world. The time is now." Uh-oh. So, that's the end of chapter 17. And we've hardly got any left of the story. I don't know if you can see, but hardly any left to go. So, Harlequin now has the golden carrot in his possession. He thinks that it has given him the powers. Riot has come along and tricked Harlequin into thinking that Harlequin has power over foxes when we all know that he doesn't really. So you'll have to come back tomorrow to find out what the rest of the royal rabbits are going to do to make sure that Harlequin doesn't take over Buckingham Palace. I hope that you're enjoying this story so far, and I look forward to seeing you here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.